present is From Assimilation to A Brief History of European Ambitions and Their Frustrations. And if we have time, we'll have some questions, but Professor Bauman has to leave quite punctually around 1 o'clock.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid what I'm going to say would be some sort of an anticlimax. I'm going to disappoint you. I just realized that just before I arrived happily in London, there was a session which actually discussed all the matters which I intended to discuss, namely cosmopolitanism and diversity in Europe, and distinguished speakers gave you account of spaces of belonging and citizenship in post-national era. So what I'm going to do now is really to repeat it, just to introduce some new elements into the discussion in which you are already engrossed. I would like to start for a change, not from multicultural London, but from multicultural wasp nests. Well, it's a very crazy introduction, but I will try to explain what I have in mind. When I was a student, and that was about 65 years ago, it was reason, it stood to reason, it was general accepted view that all social insects, like termites, ants, bees, wasps, are like human beings. Namely, the nests, the insect nests of social insects contain only members of the same extended family. If insects had blood, they don't have blood, but if they did, then my teachers would tell me probably that they are all blood relatives, belong to one extended family, and the aliens, the intruders, the unwelcome migrants to the nest are not accepted. I remember that psychologists who try to study social life of insects and animals were mostly concerned with the big mystery: how come that without Ministry of Interior, without police, without prisons, somehow the insects manage to distinguish, to find out, to spot an alien coming, chase it away, or kill on the spot if it refuses to go. Why I'm starting from that? Because the major message which I wanted to bring today is how much the understanding of what standing to reason means, how much it changed in our part of the world, at least in last half century or so, and particularly in recent years. This case of the wasps is a very good inkling, very good hint, clue, how our a very general issue, how our mind works. What do we see in the world around? I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the mechanism of our perception of the world, perception of things which you put on your research, which you are studying in depth, that the mechanism is praxeomorphic. Not so much we imagine the life and try to understand, to penetrate, to make comprehensible life of animals, drawing from human pattern. That was called the anthropomorphic understanding of living organisms and their togetherness. But it is rather praxeomorphic. Praxeomorphic, the concept refers to praxis, that is the daily experience in which we are all engaged, the way in which we live from one day to another, how we plan our life and so on, and what we can do, what sort of skills we possess in order to deal with problems which we encounter in our life pursuits. This experience imperceptibly, sometimes stealthily, really, but changes over time, where we move from one era to another, from one kind of form of life to another, and together with that, and following this change of experience, we also look differently on things which were apparently familiar, so familiar that even invisible, hiding in the light. They were so obvious that there was no problem, no need to problematize them, to discuss them in depth, to reflect upon them. How come that they are as they are? It was obvious that they are as they are. With this sort of assumption, a group of members of the London Zoological Society went 2 years ago to Panama to use the contemporary electronic equipment in order to study the migration in Panama wasps. They spent 6,000 hours investigating them. They had 422 wasps with electronic devices attached, so they could watch on computers very clearly their movements. And these 422 wasps came from 33 different nests. Well, with your breast, as I do normally when I speak about my own research, because most of us, when are going into the field and doing some research, we find what we were looking for. So we are very seldom, we are astonished. These people from London Zoological Society were flabbergasted. They were really, they couldn't understand what they saw. What they found, ladies and gentlemen, was that 56% of wasps in these 33 nests were migrants. So what they tried to answer, they were funded, of course, by foundation. They had research grants. They wanted to confirm the old wisdom that nests are closed communities and they don't allow the intruders. And the only thing they were looking for is how these intruders are spotted, how they are kept apart, how they are separated, what is the mechanism. Instead, they found that 56% of normal inhabitants of a nest are migrants, are newcomers. They couldn't believe their eyes, so they tried to explain it. So the hypothesis, which sounded funny, which they put in their report, was that these wasps were not really genuine strangers. They must have been somehow related. Cousins were there. There to use the word brothers, were cousins. The assumption, of course, is that natural reason to be together is to be blood related. What they forgot is that French Revolution, one of the founding acts of modern times, had to put fraternité, brotherhood, into the program. Liberté, fraternité, égalité. Fraternité. One needs to make brothers out of people. Being blood related is not a natural condition. We, by political action, can make out of people scattered all over a huge country, which was France. People from Poitou and Bretagne, when they meet, they could hardly address each other in the same language. What they spoke was later retrospectively called dialects, but they were in fact not fully understandable and exchangeable means of communication.